Good morning, my lovies. This morning, we're going to read one of my favorite books that my grandma used to read for me. It's called Fuzzy Wuzzy Bear. I know the lighting's not great, but here we are. And the book is a little rough because it's loved and worn and read very, very much. And I hope that you love this book as much as I have. And I don't know if you can tell, but Fuzzy Wuzzy Bear is actually fuzzy. And this is in honor of the snowfall that we have been having. And it's definitely time for me to hibernate. So hibernate with me today. Fuzzy Wuzzy Bear. All the bears in the forest took long naps in the winter. All but one little bear. He was always hungry, and he stayed awake to eat honey. I love honey. Look at all the honey there. Every day, Fuzzy Wuzzy Bear ate honey for breakfast, and honey for lunch, and honey for dinner. Still fuzzy. And every day he grew a little fatter. The little bear went nutting with the squirrels one bright autumn day, but he did not bring home many nuts. He had grown so fat he couldn't stoop over to pick them up. When Fuzzy Wuzzy Bear looked out one morning, there was snow on the ground. He put on his snowshoes and went down the lane to the storehouse where he kept his honey. He filled his pails and brought them home. I used to love touching the fuzzy pages, or the fuzzy bear on the page. The little bear didn't care how much it snowed. He was warm and cozy in his house, and he ate honey for breakfast, and honey for lunch, and honey for dinner. And every day he grew a little fatter. One day, when the little bear looked out of his window, he found that the snow was all gone. It was spring. Oh, I love spring. Do you love spring? All the colors and green after all of the dull, boring brown. He brushed his fur and put on his coat. Only now, it wouldn't button. He had grown too fat. Look at those buttons popping. I think the mice might be laughing at him. Fuzzy Wuzzy Bear wanted to go out into the warm sunshine. He started outdoors, but every day in the winter he had grown a little fatter, and now he was so fat he couldn't get through his own door. The little bear wriggled his way, and he wriggled that way, but he was stuck fast. Only his head was outside. He couldn't budge. He couldn't go inside, and he couldn't go outside. His doorway wasn't big enough. Oh. Just then, a big bumblebee came by. A bzzz, and stung Fuzzy Wuzzy Bear on his nose. Right there. Ouch! Cried Fuzzy Wuzzy Bear. and then he pulled so hard he got back in the house. The little bear's nose hurt dreadfully, and suddenly he felt very sleepy. He climbed into his bed and took his long, long nap in the springtime. Oh, isn't that silly? In the springtime. And the bumblebee says that the little bear grew thinner and thinner every day. So when he woke up, he had no trouble getting through his doorway. And that's what happens sometimes during the winter months. We stay home and we're not as active and we eat more. And while we're hibernating, we don't get to move as much. So be careful of those extra pounds because you don't want to be like the little fuzzy wuzzy bear that became too big that he couldn't get through the front door. Until we meet again, lovies, I hope you enjoyed Fuzzy Wuzzy Bear as much as I enjoyed Fuzzy Wuzzy Bear growing up.